Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the offseason chatter, you know that the Cleveland Browns are always in the mix when it comes to roster moves, draft strategies, and squad upgrades. But this year, one particular topic has been front and center, sparking debates among fans and analysts alike. That is the question of whether Cleveland should look back and try to reunite with a familiar face, Amari Cooper. Yes, that's right, the five-time Pro Bowler who has been a key part of their passing game in recent seasons. Right now, Cooper remains unsigned, a free agent with plenty of teams potentially interested but no definitive destination. And naturally, Browns fans are wondering, could he come back to Cleveland? Could this be the missing piece to bolster their passing attack as they enter a pivotal season? Well, let's break down the situation and see what the experts and insiders are saying, because this isn't just about sentiment, it's about strategic moves that could shape the upcoming season. First off, it's important to understand the context of the Browns' wide receiver depth chart. Last year, Cleveland's pass-catching options faced some challenges. After Amari Cooper was traded away before last year's NFL trade deadline, the team was left looking for reliable targets. Jerry Jeudy, who's a talented receiver in his own right, is part of the mix now. But overall, the depth at wide receiver isn't exactly stacked with proven veteran talent. That's a concern when you're heading into a season where your quarterback battle is still unresolved, and the team needs as many reliable weapons as possible for whoever wins that starting role. And speaking of quarterbacks, Cleveland has a real competition brewing this summer. Multiple players are vying for that coveted spot of QB1, and whoever emerges as the starter will need to have a dependable set of weapons to throw to. In this scenario, bringing back a guy like Cooper could make a huge difference. He's someone who has demonstrated he can produce at a high level, especially in big moments. In 2023, Cooper was a key part of the Browns' passing game, forming a pretty dynamic duo with Joe Flacco, who, let's face it, is a veteran quarterback with tons of experience. That pairing showed flashes of what could be a potent combination if given the right opportunities. But here's where things get interesting. Despite the potential upside, a well-known insider for the Browns has shut down any serious talk about a reunion with Cooper. Tony Grossi, a respected voice on ESPN Radio Cleveland and the Land on Demand NFL insider, recently addressed this exact question. He made it clear that, from his perspective, the chances of Cleveland bringing back Amari Cooper are virtually non-existent. Why? Because of the circumstances surrounding Cooper's recent performances and the roster moves that have taken place. Grossi pointed out that Cooper had a somewhat underwhelming stint with Buffalo last year, where he played in just 8 games alongside Josh Allen, who is undoubtedly one of the league's top quarterbacks and a league MVP contender. In those games, Cooper caught 20 passes for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not bad, but far from the elite numbers we saw in previous seasons. The key takeaway here is that Cooper is 31 years old now, and he's no longer the young, explosive receiver he once was. Age and wear and tear are factors that NFL teams consider heavily, especially when it comes to players with a history of injuries or declining production. Grossi also emphasized that the Browns made a smart move by trading Cooper before last year's NFL trade deadline. They received a third-round pick in return, which they used to select Dillon Gabriel in the 2024 NFL Draft. Gabriel, a promising quarterback, is part of the 4-player competition for the starting role this summer. That trade was viewed as a savvy decision by Browns general manager Andrew Berry, getting a draft pick for a player who, at that point, was not contributing as much as he had in previous seasons. Now, it's worth noting that Cooper's 2024 season was a step back from his previous 2 campaigns, where he amassed over 150 yards each year. Last year, his production dipped, and many attribute this to the overall struggles of the Browns' passing attack, as well as some inconsistency at quarterback. Still, Cooper's experience, route-running ability, and familiarity with the Cleveland system make him an intriguing option, especially if the team is looking to squeeze out one more productive season from a veteran who knows the system well. However, Grossi's take is that the ship has likely sailed. The combination of Cooper's age, recent performance, and the Browns' current roster construction makes a reunion unlikely. It's a classic case of a team making a calculated move to maximize value at the right time. Trading Cooper for a third-round pick turned out to be a smart decision, especially considering the potential of Dillon Gabriel. The Browns are betting on their young quarterback core, and perhaps they believe that the future is brighter with the guys they have in the fold now. But here's the thing, NFL teams are always looking for ways to improve. If Cooper manages to land somewhere else and has a resurgence, it might be a bittersweet reminder of what could have been for Cleveland fans. Nevertheless, the current reality is that the Browns seem content with their current roster and the young talent they've accumulated, especially at the quarterback position. They're focusing on building a cohesive unit that can compete at a high level, and that means making tough decisions like moving on from a veteran who has served them well, but might no longer fit into the long-term plan. Looking ahead, the Browns' offseason will be critical. They need to settle their quarterback situation, whether that's Gabriel or perhaps another name emerges in training camp. The receiver core, as mentioned, is a bit of an open question, but with the draft pick used on Gabriel, they're clearly investing in the future at that position. The coaching staff will also be working tirelessly on scheme adjustments, trying to optimize their passing game with the pieces they have. And fans, I know this is a lot to process, but one thing is for sure, the Cleveland Browns are not standing still. They're constantly evaluating, adjusting, and trying to find that perfect balance to push for another Super Bowl appearance. Whether or not Cooper returns, the focus is on building a team that can compete with the best in the AFC North and beyond. The AFC North itself is shaping up to be more competitive than ever, with teams like Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh all making moves of their own. So the Browns have to be sharp, strategic, and ready to seize opportunities as they come. And remember, in the NFL, nothing is set in stone. Players come and go, and teams evolve faster than we sometimes expect. Cleveland's front office has shown they're willing to make bold moves, but in this case, the consensus seems to be that Cooper's chapter in Cleveland is closed for now. Still, it's exciting to think about what the future holds, whether it's with the young talent they're developing or maybe surprising us in ways we didn't anticipate. The Browns are always a team to watch, especially as they gear up for another intense season full of hope and high expectations. So, whether you're a diehard Browns fan or just someone interested in the AFC North's shifting landscape, stay tuned. There's always something happening in Cleveland, and I'll be here to keep you updated on every twist and turn. This franchise has a rich history, and with the current roster moves and strategic decisions, they're aiming to add more chapters to that story of resilience and ambition. Keep your eyes on the Browns, because the best is yet to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think bringing back Amari Cooper was ever a real possibility? Or are you in the camp that agrees with Grossi's assessment that it's just not going to happen? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates and insights, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Whether it's draft rumors, free agency updates, or training camp news, you can count on me to keep you informed. Thanks for being here, Browns fans, and remember, this team's journey is far from over. The best is yet to come, and we're all in this together. Let's keep that passion alive and continue supporting our beloved Cleveland Browns, no matter what the season brings.